My guest this week is a household name in drum and bass, a producer, a DJ, owner of a clothing brand, production coach. He's played the likes of Rampage, Hideout, Part Life, guest mixes for the likes of Radio 1 and Fabric. It's the Italian stallion, Turno. Good evening, lad. How are you?
Well, that was probably the best intro I ever had, man. I need to get you on my shows. So I need to get rid of you. I think.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. A lot of accolades, a diverse, eclectic mix. Like I said, this should probably be the first episode that's coming back on season 3. Yeah, how you been this week? How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good. What have I been? Well, Warehouse Project on Friday, so that was crazy, bro. And to be honest, man, I'll be honest with you, I had a pretty bad week last week. Like the last 4 weeks have been pretty tough because of a project I'm doing in aid of my brother, a mental health project, which I've released a song with a bunch of his friends from Bedford who come together. We made a song in his honour, and to raise awareness for mental health, and also because that's the only way I know how to translate that emotion properly, like, and feel like, oh, this is my this is my gift, or whatever you want to call it, to Fabio, or to. I've done it the same when Dominator passed away, DJ Dominator. Yeah. I made like a mini mix of all his tracks, and that's how I get therapy out of it. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough, to be honest with you. Last week was the release of the song and the anniversary of his death. So a lot was going on. I probably put too much on my plate, to be honest with you, like that I should have, because to release a song, you know what comes with it, the campaign, the marketing, the calls, all the little bits and bobs. As much as it's for an amazing cause, it definitely wore me out. And I think I was, on the day, I was more worried about making sure that everyone was okay. Like my mum, my dad, like they're not together, so I had to make sure my mum's okay, my dad's all right. Obviously, anything we were doing, I had to make sure that they were all included. So there was a lot on my plate, and then later on that evening, we had like a gathering at his shop, at his barber shop, because he was a barber, which we've now taken over the shop, Escobarbers, which. Like a lot of his friends and people come to, and it was amazing. But it got to 10 o'clock. I wasn't drinking. I think I had three shots of brandy, because that was his drink, like Fabio. So we had people drinking and stuff. But for me, I was like, look, I've got Estonia in the morning. I've got to fly to Estonia, so I don't want to be getting mashed up. And plus, to be honest with you, I wanted to kind of stay present in the moment rather than trying to get rid of that feeling with alcohol or whatever. So yeah, it was tough. I feel like something's turned since Friday, which is good. But yeah, that's a very long answer to how you've been this week.
That's all right. That's good. One of the topics that we cover here, especially if people feel comfortable, is like mental health. Like obviously the highs and lows of the music industry, the highs and lows of everything that comes with it. And obviously, like you said there, the last month, like releasing the single. So the single "What's on Your Mind" was the one that was obviously released, and then you've got a drum and bass remix of it coming out next month, haven't you? Like early next month for that.
Yeah, so I've done a drum and bass, the D&B edit. I like to call it. I don't want to call it a remix edit, because it's like it is the original, but just with my little drum and bass twist to it, because obviously that way I can connect directly with my fans, and also I can play it out. And I've been playing it out for my last track. For the last couple months, and it's been amazing. The response has been crazy. People have really taken it in. Me and my MC Dreps, like my good friend, like we've been doing like an act where like we get everyone to put their phones out, and we do like kind of like a left to right kind of motion. But it just Manchester on Friday was unreal. Like, it looked crazy.
I was gonna do it in chronological, but because you've mentioned it, and because I was gonna touch it. So like you said, videos of you, Headaches and Voltage circulating from Warehouse Project. Was it Concourse? Yes, a lot of people saying the best room at the best venue in the UK at the moment. The little 360 stage.
Yeah, bro. And to be honest, the only other time that I've been in a 360 stage is at Park Life, and they based that off Concourse. So yeah, it's like a proper boiler room feeling, because you're all slow. I could touch my man, like. And the funny thing was, this what's the word? Perplex glass.
Perspex. Yeah.
Perplex, glass, and it actually broke during the set.
No way! What? Because everyone was like slamming on it, like calling for the reload, or like
literally. The thing is, even when you put your stuff down, you have to be careful, because people could just
reach over. I've been. I didn't go there on Friday because I had prior arrangements, unfortunately. But the amount of times that I've seen people reach over on that booth and just take something from the rider or take something from the DJs, they're like, like someone like, so literally like just watching people. Obviously the DJ's there, maybe the videographer's filming, and then because obviously it's great. You got 360, you got the atmosphere, you got the energy. There's people behind you, people in front. But I have seen a couple of times like people reaching over, grabbing a bottle, like grabbing a couple of cans, like from the little drinks thing that they get. I just think, fair enough. Like,
Is it worth being? Because you will be absolutely hounded if you get seen by anyone doing that.
And that's the thing now as well, where so many people are taking videos. You will get your face plastered over TikTok. You will get your face plastered over Instagram, being like, "Look at this little person like stealing from the artist rider." So yeah, I mean, a lot of people have said that is one of their favourite rooms at Warehouse Project. Favourite room at Warehouse Project, but then famous sort of like favourite venue really across the UK.
For me, it's my favourite. It's my favourite. I just think there's such a unique vibe in there. It's a big room, but then you're so close to everyone as well, and that's quite a rarity to have like that amount of people in a warehouse or a room. But also you're that close to the action. Like you're in the mix, man. Like, and that's. For me, so sick. Like I would definitely, I would love to do a show there, like a headline show there. In the future, man, that would be unbelievable.
So just to sort of like go a bit more, probably in order, like of your life and stuff like that. If we would take it all the way back to the start, like what was your sort of earliest experiences with music, or like whether that's sort of like listening to music around the house, like any of the first gigs or raves you went to?
Well, to be honest, I've always been in. I mean, I used to play the piano. I used to play the cello as well, which is mad. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have a clue what to do with it now. I can't lie. Then keyboards, then I've done the full circle because my dad used to be in a band. Not that I knew much of it when I was younger, but he had keyboards. He used to be a keyboard player in a band. And he actually gave me a couple of his synths the other day. He found them in his garage. I'm like, bro, he had a Juno 106, which is gold dust, man. I'm not gonna lie, I've been offered like $3 or $4 grand for that. Like, nice. And he was just sat in his thing, and a Yamaha CCY something, which I don't use as much. But yeah, he's been doing music for he was doing music back in the day, more as a hobby, like just playing cover songs at weddings and stuff like. But it's kind of always been in my life, and I did the full circle. Me and my brother Fabio actually used to be quite big grevos, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we used to be skaters. Like we used to listen to that kind of like. I mean, the Slipknots, the heavy
Korn.
metal.
Korn.
Then we got into like Newfound Glory and Sum 41s and all that kind of. The new metal kind of vibes. And then I went on to like I got into like the trance kind of music quite a bit, like the Ministry of Sounds and like just that trance sound. A lot of it on Kevin and Perry, to be fair, but that kind of sound I was well into.
Balearic House and stuff like that as well. Yeah,
but is that what it's called? Balearic House. Yeah,
Balearic House.
A lot of that, man.
Yeah,
I was well into that. Then I got into the hip hop side of things. As my brother, I started kind of getting into the hip hop and grime and all that kind of stuff. So I started listening to that. So I've done the full circle really, and then I got into drum and bass when I was living about 15 years ago, I guess, probably more than that now. I was probably about 12, and I was someone moved down from London, like who's a friend now. Like I don't speak to him as much, but still, he introduced me to drum and bass. He had a Walkman, he had drum and bass on it. Obviously, his name's Shawnee D. Like I got to shout him out, but it's such an old school drum and bass name as well, and it's Shawnee D. Like probably like Human Traffic kind of name. Like.
Great film, great film. What was the drum and bass it introduced you to? Can you remember?
I don't remember what the songs were, but it was a set. It was a set, and it just kind of intrigued me. And then he used to show me on the bus because we used to go to school on the bus, and he'd let me listen and that. I was like, "Oh, this is intriguing." And then we started listening to it quite a bit. Like he had decks as well. But the first moment, which I remember, we camped out. You know, when you're a youth and you can't, you're at that stage, where you can't. You can stay on your mate's house and stuff, but if you want to have an all-nighter and like get involved, you have to like camp out basically. That was your way of having no adult supervision. So, I mean, so yeah, we did it in this place called the Fire Pit where we lived, and I remember, I remember it's just Pulp Fiction, Alex Reed's Pulp Fiction, absolute classic tune. That was one that really I thought, wow, this is mad. This is like. This change, it just lit some fire in me in it, and that's where I believe it fully started. And then from there, I bought some decks, I bought some IMGs, IGMs, IMGs, 1 or 2 belt drives off a mate, like, and he gave me a couple of records, random records. I had like Friday by Dre, I had like Addicted to Bass, like Addicted to Bass, like dead tune, like
difficult to mix in together. Then difficult to mix.
No drum and bass. But this was basic. So this was like when I was just getting a pair of decks to even figure out what you do, like how do you mix them together. Just to, you know what I mean, a lot of it to start with is a lot of because that's what you thought DJ did. But when you start getting your head around the whole thing, getting deeper into it, and you learn about beat matching and whatever. I like because obviously you could speed things up as well on a 30. I think it was 33 and 45. I hope it's that. Otherwise, I'm going to be
No,
getting
it is.
crucified.
Yeah, it is. Don't worry, you're not going to be getting any dodgy comments.
It
Like,
is
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, the vinyl guys are going to be hating
Enthusiasts,
on
yeah.
that. But yeah. So obviously you could like make a hip hop track double the speed, and I don't know. It was just a cool introduction. Then obviously I started. There was a record shop in Bedford called WS Records, run by Burner. Again, shout him out. Yeah, man. Luckily we had a record shop that just mainly was devoted to drum and bass, like in Bedford, man. Which is obviously that's a massive thing. Actually, the more I deep it, like, then that's a massive thing to have, like, to help you kind of grow within the scene and understand more about it, the music itself. Like, so that was massive, man. And we used to be there every week. There's a couple of my boys, me and Harry, my good friend, my best mate actually, Harry Bizzle, like, who some people that knew me from back in the day would have known his name. He was doing quite well in the circuit, to be fair, but because he didn't produce, he got to a stage where he couldn't go any further. And I did say to him, I was like, bruv, you need to make tunes, man. And he didn't, unfortunately. But now he's making house, and he's actually just started getting support by like BB and like Martinez brothers, and he's going to name Harry Brown. So yeah, man, like it's all come full circle. So it just shows that with production you can get your actual sound out there more.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think about that? Because there's obviously a lot of people that discuss it, and there's some people probably roughly name on sort of, not even in drum and bass really, like name on two hands that are sort of like selectors, that are people that will just strictly DJ, will dig deep, will obviously create sets and create a bit of a following, or have curated a bit of a following, but haven't necessarily produced lots of music. Probably the people that I'm thinking of.
Well, I mean, can you name like a drum and bass guy like this, a new
really.
guy? Like, obviously, you can say Andy Seacole. He still makes the odd tune, but he's already made his legacy from back in the day.
Yeah.
Like Mampy Swift, I mean, he still makes tunes. Like, it's hard to really.
Like Jaws and other bits
even Blackley's a good example, and AMC's always made tunes. Like, and Blackley does make tunes as well now. So it's kind of it's the natural progression, man.
It's
because you might be able to get certain dubs or whatever, cool, but like you're only mixing two tunes together that are made by other people, and people are going to have them. So to fully have your own sound and style, and the reason why people come and see you for them certain tracks is like you need to make music, man. Like,
the only people I can think potentially, like, not even drum and bass, would be like One Man, who used to be like a bit of a selector, Riz Latif, Artwork. I know Artwork used to do a couple of early dubby bits with Scream and Benga, but sort of like as sort of like a DJ's DJ. But it's few and far between really of like artists that
especially new wave. It's kind of unheard of, really. Like, I can't even like the only ones I think of, like EZ is another one, but he's legend himself because he does what he does. Like, that's almost like him producing live. Like, he's making two beats out of
like the turntablism and stuff like that he does it with it. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's quite tough. Then you got people like Fred again, who's taken it to the next level, and he's like actually. I mean,
the live jungle bits that everyone's gone mad for, and a lot of people now suddenly being like, you know what, I do like jungle, and it's like, well, these I've seen so many. That's hurt me a little bit. I want to celebrate it a lot, and it is great, and I fucking love it. But there's so many people before that I've listened to, even mates. I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus. That have been like, oh, I fucking hate drum and bass, or like I hate jungle, or it's all rubbish or whatever. And then they'll be rinsing that Fred again set and like going over mad where he's doing the live jungle stuff, and I was like, you little cunt. Like, you've absolutely slagged off drum and bass for ages.
We can say that, or we can go, do you know what, this dude is opening it up to a whole
it's
new...
wicked. No, not Fred again being a little cunt. I mean my mates that have suddenly changed their tune.
And they stop inside you, like, once again, you bastard.
I just think, don't be so up your own arse and say like, oh, I don't like this music, and then because it's very popular and it's going viral, they're like, I've always loved jungle, and it's like, okay, it's cool.
It's cool now, but unfortunately, that's how sad the world we live in.
It's like you were saying going earlier about getting back to likes and followings and what's hot and what's not. Like, I don't want to gatekeep it. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's like I don't actually really care that much. So it's just as we brought it up as a topic there. Just seeing him do the live jungle set is sick, and it is wicked to watch and stuff. But yeah, there's been a lot of newly converted drum and bass fans and jungle fans from that one Boiler Room set, which is good. Which is good. I mean, it's good for the scene. It's good for the industry. Any new fans are good fans, isn't it? So just totally left field now to go slightly down a different track. What's been like the worst thing that's ever happened to you at a rave or at a festival or an event?
The worst thing, you know.
Be as honest as open as you like.
Yeah, no, I will. I'm trying to think of well, to be honest, this is definitely it. So yeah, back in the day, like Random Concept, who's an event organizer, I played in room 2 of their event at Roadmender in Northampton, and No, it wasn't. It was CDJs. It wasn't that old. Yeah, so I played my first tune, and I made a track called Dreams back in the day. It was like my first track that ever blew. Really, I done like a VIP of it, which I was gassed to play, and I had quite a full room. To be fair, room 2 was popping, and yeah, man, I'm as the tune was about to drop, I got so excited, I jumped up and flipped the decks. So the decks flipped in the air. Obviously, all the sound cut out. It was pretty savage for a good couple minutes as well, because everyone had to come in and kind of pick things up and that.
Yeah.
Sort it all out, so it was peak. Yeah, that was peak. I mean, the room was dead by the time I started again, so it was definitely a peak.
Oh, everyone had walked off. The sound engineers took so long to come through.
You got to think, man. It's 2 minutes. A long time when you've got a room like. I mean, it's quite a small place anyway. Like the room 1 was literally probably about I don't know 10 steps away. So it's like, I mean, 2 minutes. You got bare buzzing ravers like people like really, man. Like, and then you just you got SDC in the main room or something. I mean, so yeah, that was peak, man. That was peak. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any other peak things. Like, there's loads of little things that have happened up, but that thing sticks out in my mind fully, because it was just like bare embarrassing. I'm pretty sure every DJ has pressed. I've reloaded the wrong
on the wrong decks. Yeah,
or press pause and it goes cut out, or tripped over something, or whatever. I've luckily never fell on, as far as I can remember, I've never fell on a stage or done anything stupid like that. I mean, there's always things. If I remember any others like during the interview, I just blurt them out. Like,
that's all right. I was open and honest on you on this one. Who raves the hardest, like DJ wise or artist wise? Who's like who are you like? Oh shit, if they're on the lineup or if they're in the green room or that, you know that they're going to be enjoying life.
Okay, cool. Enjoying life, right? To be honest, a lot of us do, man. To be fair, a lot of us enjoy. I'm trying to think of Darksea and Window Kid are characters. I can't lie.
Yeah. Greg and Elliot. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? A lot of the bass line are quite characters, like Brucey. I mean, from the drum and bass line, like me and Benny, always have a good time. We see each other. Benny L. Oh, who else is there, man? There's loads, bro. Literally, I mean, I get on with everyone, to be honest with you, man. I mean, Headaches is someone who's actually he's a vibe, but he doesn't actually party at all. Really, he's very clean, which is mad that he can still be involved in it like that. You know what I mean? Everyone. I'm trying to think, man. To be fair, Benny L is a G, man. Definitely, we have a good time. We link up. There's like I say, there's so many, man. There's so many big characters we haven't seen in ages. And it just. Yeah, I'm probably one of them. To be fair, probably people would say, Turno's always turning up. He's definitely that guy.
I've seen you backstage. I've seen you backstage, energetic, very smiley, very happy character. Have you seen you loving life backstage as well? On the flip side to that, what I was going to say is, what's a town or city that's a bit of a dark horse for having a lively crowd or a really good venue or a really good place where you think you know what, that's not somewhere where I expect.
I can't pronounce the club. It's in Cardiff. Yes, in Cardiff. It's called. I can't remember what it's called. It's some Welsh word which I cannot pronounce at all. But it's mad. When I done my first tour a couple of years ago, that sold out first, and I was like, right, okay. And I went there, and it was mad, bruv. It was mad. Everyone was new. I mean, I was getting hounded for photos. I was like, right, this is mad, because obviously it's your headline show, so everyone's there for you anyway. But it was my first run. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is mad, bro. And same with Portsmouth as well. Portsmouth, I played at the Astoria, and that was sold out, and that was massive, bro. And I was like, right, that was just me playing. It was my headline show. So that was another one. I was like, wow. I've been back a couple of times since, and it's been crazy as well.
What's a stereotypical Turno rider?
Bottle of goose, bottle of champagne, waters and soft drink. To be honest, man, I'm not really that diva-ish, man. I haven't got anything mad on there. Towels, technical riders a bit different. I need to have certain monitors and whatever and whatever. But I mean, yeah, man, I'm happy with. There was a stage where I put more alcohol on there, but then I thought, bro, what am I doing this for? Yeah, it's nice to take it home. I've got a couple of bottles of goose in the cupboard and that. Don't get it twisted. But when you do that, I just feel like and also as well, it wasn't really helping the not partying if you're getting bottles of 2 or 3 bottles of drinks. Do you know what I did? I do actually have protein shakes on my rider as well, and
here he is. He's getting the flexing. He's getting a pump on. He's getting a pump on stage. He's getting those macros. Hitting those macros.
Yeah,
I don't know about the protein shake back to back with the Grey Goose vodka, mate. That's gonna be that's gonna be looking funky in the toilet.
No. Oh god, no. Yeah, that's for the next day. But or if I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've no real food apart from I have like a exotic fruit platter as well as on my thing. But
Exotic fruit. None of this apples and pears stuff. None of this
apple and
dragon
pear
fruit
thing.
soon come.
Fires and a little cup of cherry.
Yeah. Fair play.
But yeah. Do you know what? No, I'm not that much of a diva when it comes to them kind of things. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Unless he's a diva, I don't know. Unless I'm coming across like exotic fruit is a bit mad.
Well, I don't know. We'll see the comments. We'll see what people say about exotic fruit.
What
I was going to ask as well is, and you can answer this honestly if you want. If you could do a back to back with someone that you've never done a back to back with before, but would like to like sort of tick off your list, who would it be?
Just because he's such an inspiration to my career, like DJ Hazard, just because I would love to make a tune with him, get in the studio, just because of how much of an impact he's had on me wanting to do this in it, and just an influence on Jump Up. I think he still is he steered the ship with it. I mean, it's going to be deep to say he created it. Like I deep down think he definitely took it to that next place. Like so, for me, like he was the guy that I always wanted to see in the raves. Like always wanted to. I mean, I would make sure me and my brethren Harry would be like, "Yo, bro, I'll meet you by the pillar, bro, because it's going down in a minute, bro." Like, and he'd always play bare dubs, like just rhythm and stuff. So he really made me want to go down that route within drum and bass, I guess. Like, which was But to be fair, there's no one. There is other people, but no one else that deserves
the top place, mate. Yeah, that makes sense. What's something that frustrates you about your work? Like, what's the most challenging thing?
The travelling all day.
Yeah.
End of question.
It takes a lot of toll.
That's literally it's tough. The travelling's hard, man. Like it's you just get on and do it, but you got to think, and you're devoting a lot of time away from your loved ones and stuff, like which is tough. I can't lie. That's definitely the hardest thing, man. It's a strain on relationships sometimes, not just like girlfriends, etc. But like, I mean, in general in life, man, like that part of it is the unfortunate negative, but yeah, it's just trying to get that balance and compromise with everything. But there is parties and stuff that you're going to miss, family events, like because of what you do. But I suppose that's a sacrifice you make, man. Like I still, for me personally, it's still the best job in the world. Like as much as it does have that side of it as well. But yeah, the positives outweigh the negatives a lot. I think for me, like I don't know what I'd do without this. I think I would struggle to. I don't know what else I'd do, to be honest with you, man. I get such an amazing feeling out of doing this for a job and playing out every weekend, like that. It's, I don't know. I think it does so much more for me than I realised, and I've realised that in lockdown. I think a lot of artists did. So I think that the positives outweigh the negatives, but definitely the travelling.
Finally finish up on what was if you had to give someone a bit of advice, sort of someone that's either playing their first event maybe this weekend, like coming up, or like someone that's like putting together their first EP or their first track, or someone's thinking like, you know what, I do want to start DJing, I want to start producing. What's a piece of advice that you would give to like a new producer or a new DJ that you could sort of reflect back on and go, you know what, I wish someone had told me this right at the start, or I wish someone had given me this piece of advice right at the back of my journey?
I don't know about. Well, I mean, I'll give advice on how I would talk to a younger version of me, I guess. Like, or I mean, I would say you just need to be persistent, passionate. You need to devote your life to it, man. As much as that's hard to hear, but if you really want to make it in this game, in anything, you need to really put the time in. You can't do it once a week. Like, you have to have a plan. Like, there's a lot of things I'm chucking at here, but I think there's a lot of preparation you have to do for that life in it. Like, and I think. What do you want from it? Like, do you know what I mean? Is it just something you want to do for a bit and just play a couple of raves, or is it something you want to do full time? Do you just want to DJ in local clubs, or do you want to go all around the world? Do you want to just do? I mean, what mood? There's a lot to it, and the thing about this journey as well is so many opportunities can happen during it, and you could then veer off into other directions, but it's still in the same music music umbrella, if you like. So for me, it's just a great. I definitely would tell myself just to prepare, man. I think that's the best thing to do. Like if someone's got a set, for instance, for the first time this weekend, do you know what I mean? Just make sure that you plan your set. Make sure you know what the task is ahead of you. Like I don't want to sound too deep, but it is the truth, man. You don't want to go into it just off a whim and just hope it's going to do the best for you. Like I think prepare, plan, and then execute in it and practice and stuff and make sure that they remember you in it. Make sure they remember you. So next time you'll get a booking or another booking or another booking. So yeah, man, I think it's important just to think about what you're trying to do and how you're going to get there in it. It's important to plan.
That's great advice, mate. Great thing to finish up on. Some good advice for, like you said, new producers, new DJs. Turno, mate, it's been a pleasure. It's been great to chat to you about, obviously, about your origins. Great to chat to you about production. Great to chat to you about like people in the scene, like different people in the industry, names that people will recognise. Your history, like of how you've come through, origins about music tech, and obviously the first bits of DJing, belt-driven turntables, and then obviously touching right on at the start about what's on your mind. Out now, the DMB edit coming out soon, the documentary episode also coming out soon as well, which is fantastic. So thank you very much for joining me today, mate.
No worries, man. It's been a pleasure, bro. Cheers. And yeah, man, I look forward to watching it back, man. Hopefully people can get some info or some insights from this in my life. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed it.